All right guys, it's Clay Hayes here, and today we're going to go over some tips on transporting meat across the country. Now I've got an 85 quart Orion here. I'm in Florida. It's the middle of July. It's probably going to get up into the well into the 90s today. We're going to pack this thing full of fish, wild pigs, sausage, all sorts of good stuff. And then we've got a 3-day drive cross country back to North Idaho. And when we get there, I want all that stuff to be frozen solid, just like it is today when I'm going to put it in the cooler. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. Now the first thing that you've got to have to do something like this is have a good cooler. The second thing is to make sure it's cold to start with. One of the big mistakes people make is putting ice into a hot cooler. There's a lot of thermal mass here, and if you put ice in this thing, I don't care how good the cooler is you have, if you put ice in a hot cooler, it's gonna melt. And so what I've done is I went ahead last night and I filled this thing full of ice, iced it down. It's super cold inside. So what I'm gonna do is take all of that ice out. I'm gonna put all of the fish, the wild pork, the sausage, all of that stuff in there as tightly as I can get it. I don't want any airspace in this thing if I can get away from it. So I'm gonna pack it very, very dense. Now once I get this cooler packed, I'm gonna shut the lid and I'm not gonna open it again until I get home and get by my cooler or my freezer. And then everything's gonna come out of this thing and go straight into our deep freeze. Try to get every little bit of airspace in there out. All right, so I've got everything packed in here as densely as I can get it. There's practically no airspace. You will need to make sure that your cooler, that your lid fits down good. You don't want it pressing up and breaking your seal here, so you want this thing sealed good. So we've got this thing sealed up, and it's not gonna open again until we get home and we can take all this stuff and put it in our deep freeze.